plaintiff, Tammy Banks, is a mobile home park manager, and she hired the defendant to be a maintenance man in the park. Tammy claims she had to fire the defendant because he's a thief and a crackhead, and she's suing him today for breach of contract and emotional distress. Defendant Joel Mosier insists he is not on crack and has never been arrested for crack. Joel says Tammy's just a lonely woman who didn't want to be with her husband and was flirtatious with him, and he denies owing her for anything.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I was a mobile home park manager for many years. I have a letter of recommendation here from my former employer. I hired Mr. Mosier.
You hired him as what?
A maintenance man.
Mm-hmm.
I had 5 employees underneath me.
When was this that you hired him?
2009-ish.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, I had to fire Mr. Mosier because he is a thief and a crackhead.
What year was that?
2009-ish.
Right off the bat.
Same year you hired him, you had to fire him?
A couple months, actually.
All right. What did you find he was stealing? How did you?
Well, certain things came up missing pertaining to the job, and then Mr. Mosier, I know he has a problem with crack, Your Honor. His girlfriend used to work in my office. I also hired her.
What year was that?
2009, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, you want to tell me about this before we go any further?
I've never been arrested for crack cocaine, Your Honor.
Oh.
Sir,
Your
just
Honor.
let me tell you, I'm not going to accuse you one way or the other until I hear the rest of your answers. But the first part of your answers, you sound like a crackhead.
well, I've never
That's
been.
what they do. They say, the first thing out there, I never been caught.
No, I've never used, Your Honor.
There you go. That's the answer.
Sorry. Yep.
You've never used crack.
Nope.
She ever accused you of it?
Yep. She has, Your Honor.
What do you think made her think that?
From other people that worked for her.
Why do you think they thought?
Because my brother worked for her and he did other types of drugs, and I think she assumed that I was also involved in that category.
Absolutely not. Let me tell you something, Your Honor. This looks like a Joel Mosier impersonator because he actually has teeth today. Okay, that's what crack does to you, sir.
You don't have to tell me what crack does about your teeth and everything else.
Exactly,
I
Your
know.
Honor, and I know firsthand what that stuff does, okay? Because I had a very dear friend whose husband got murdered on New Year's Eve, and I was supposed to go out with them that night, and I chose to stay home. She smoked up custody of her children. She smoked away her home, 3 Harley-Davidson motorcycles. She smoked up everything. She had absolutely nothing, her dignity, her pride, even her honesty. You have to be a liar and a thief to be a crackhead, Your Honor. And now because of the plumbing issues that I have in my home, because this man had got a job in the new park that I live in, which I do not work
This
at.
is what you're suing him for today, plumbing issues?
Yes.
Because of that, what?
Because I felt like everybody deserves a second chance. He had been on that job for 18 months, Your Honor, when I hired him to do the plumbing. My husband is an end-stage renal failure, Your Honor.
Renal failure?
Yeah,
Sorry,
amongst other things. Just had a heart attack with 2 stents. And he came to me and said to me that he would never do this to somebody. And he's a man of his word. Well, let me tell you something. He preys on the weak, he preys on the disabled, and he preys on the elderly, Your Honor.
What did you find he was stealing? How did you...
Well, certain things came up missing pertaining to the job, and then Mr. Mosier, I know he has a problem with crack, Your Honor. His girlfriend used to work in my office. I also hired her.
What year was that?
2009, Your Honor.
All right.
Defendant Joel Mosier was hired to be a maintenance man at the mobile home park that the plaintiff managed, and she claims she had to fire him because he's a thief and a crackhead.
You want to describe what he's done that caused you to sue him today? What was the agreement first? Tell me.
The agreement was to replumb the house front to back. I have a receipt for the plumbing parts where I paid $200, and I've got about $40 worth of elbows. 2 different type pipelines put together, not glued together, not duct tape as in the handyman's duct tape, but in heater duct tape. It's holding my pipes together. I'm now getting sewer gas backing up in my home that I have the estimate right here that it's not only a danger to me, but it's a danger to my husband, whose immune system is compromised.
Yeah, that is terrible. That certainly is, if what you're saying is the case. And
I also have a
what
statement.
has he said when you've asked him about it, the defendant?
I have the text messages, Your Honor.
While you give me the text messages, let me allow him to tell me. Sir, what do you have to say about this?
Well, Your Honor, I believe that's not true. I went there because Tammy came to my home crying to me, asking me to come and help her. So if she thought I was a crackhead, why I don't understand why she would come to my home crying to me, asking me to come and help her.
She was telling me in 2009 you were a crackhead. She said she thought you were doing well because you had been working well for 18 months. That's why she gave you this opportunity. Now the question is, have you relapsed?
No, I have not relapsed.
All right then, well, let's talk about this instead of your crack. All right, now what happened with this?
I went there and I performed the services for her, and the agreement was to fix the problems on her trailer, which their pipes, which I have pictures of, that were bent, and
let's see them.
And
let's
that
see
her
your
son,
pictures. She is
that her
giving me
son-in-law
pictures
did.
also. And how much was she to pay you?
$250, and that was for 2 people. This is actually one of them. And
$250 to do what? Was that to
replumb.
install all new
Nope.
hot and cold water lines?
No, it was not.
All right. What about replace copper and galvanize the lines?
I did no copper work whatsoever.
No, I know you may not have done it.
No,
Where
did
you
I was
agree
doing
to
her
do?
draining system, Your Honor.
You were to do the draining
The drain
system?
system, yes. The drain system was pitched all wrong. Her son-in-law had performed the work during the winter, and I went there and I fixed it for her, and I let her know the issues that were going on with her water drain.
Oh, it's
Why do
a
you think she's suing you for
it-
all this money then?
I think that she's suing me because she actually is a lonely woman that is wanting to be flirtatious with me and buying me gifts and telling me not to tell her husband. Like,
Oh, you
her
got to be
pictures
kidding me.
up
I've
there
been
too
married
also.
23 years, Your Honor, and my husband has never even smoked marijuana, let alone done crack. I do have a letter from his employer where he was fired from his job, and
see
it
it,
also
please.
says that he cannot be, if he does work for anybody in the park, that the park is not responsible for his workmanship. And I also have a statement here filed in the town that I live in.
They say if you decide to use Joel to make repairs on your own, that is entirely between you and him. And the park is not responsible. You should know what you're dealing with. This is to everybody. This is to the whole round. I thought this was just to you. They gave a warning on you, sir.
No.
In an effort to expedite some of the positive changes we've been working on in the community, we're making some personnel changes. Joel Mosher will no longer be working. He will, however, continue to be a member and a neighbor in the community. Just keep an eye on him. They didn't say that part.
Exactly.
They didn't say that part, but they may as well.
And it's not only me that
We
needs
wish
to keep
Joel
an eye
the
on him.
best in his next endeavors.
Your Honor, the
So
gentleman.
why
there-
do you think they warned the whole community about you?
They actually Tammy actually called up on the phone so many times that I was let go from my job because I live in the mobile home park, and they couldn't deal with somebody living in the mobile home park and working for them. That's why they brought outside help.
They put a neighborhood warning out on you, sir.
because they come in from every 3 months to do a check on the park.
Defendant Joel Mosher was hired to be a maintenance man at the mobile home park that the plaintiff managed, and she claimed she had to fire him because he's a thief and a crackhead.
Now I'm looking at this. This is no repair of a plumbing system.
If you see the blue tarp, it looks like a swimming pool under my home. Well, the repairs also show that there's probably 4 new elbows under the home. I'll give him $50 for material on that one, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll knock 50 off.
There's no traps.
3604 so far. You're a nice, kind lady. Tell her thank you. Judgment for the plaintiff, $3,604 if you include the $50 discount you're giving him today. All right, have a good day, folks.
You're nothing but a crackhead. You'll always be a crackhead. You took advantage of my husband. You're nothing but a piece of okay? Big piece of Oh, wait. Oh, really? That's why the judge
there
found in
for
my
the whole
favor? I'm not a liar, and I'm not a drug abuser.
You're a liar.
Okay, the only thing you did, why didn't you speak?
I was there for
is
the whole
hand him
entire job.
Budweiser's under the trailer when he's under there trying to fix the parts.
You're a compulsive
Correct?
liar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why I won. You guys have a nice
Because you're a
day.
compulsive liar.
Bye-bye.
That's why you won.
Oh, really? Bye-bye.